All right, good. All right, hello, namaste. This is Save the Frogs founder Dr. Kerry Kriger live from Hyderabad, India. It's Tuesday, April 15th. We're in a Save the Frogs Day planning session, and we are going to do some graphic design of Save the Frogs flyers and promo images that Kalyan Goswami from Teesta University in Bangladesh submitted. He is a grantee, Save the Frogs Day grant recipient. So I'm going to give him advice on that. But before we even look at the designs, the first thing I noticed, I'm the person who received the design. So I'll say I'll call this rule. Never send files to anybody with meaningless file names. And what is a meaningful file name? It's something that means something to that person. Now, it's not that important, like a file name of a photo, but what if it's your resume? I receive resumes that are like resume.doc. Okay. Imagine the person you're sending your resume to downloading that and trying to find it ever again or knowing what it is when they see it. How about resume your name.doc or something like that? So in this case, a photo. The reason I'm discussing this is because I got a folder full of photos that I can't even really discuss because they have meaningless file names. That's like WhatsApp image 6327AB7493 or something like that. It's painful on the eyes because you don't even know what you're looking at. And the first thing that I want to do is change it to a meaningful file name. What's a meaningful file name for me? For a photo, for an image that's going to go up on the website, it's something that Google or Bing or whatever search engine knows what that file is all about. They're not going to know it, not yet anyway, from the image. They're going to know it from the file name. And more importantly is that there's someone out there in the world who's searching for something that file is relevant to. So it's going to be so, and also I want to be able to find that file on my computer now in 5 years and 10 years and 20 years. If I'm searching for someone contacts me from Teesta University in the year 2045 and I'm like, yeah, I could have sworn we had some event there in the past. And I type the word Teesta in my computer. I want those files to show up. Oh, yeah, Kalyan Goswami. You know him? Oh, yeah. Okay. Just as an example, I want to be able to find stuff on my computer and I want Google and the person searching there out on the web to be able to find that photo and end up on my website. So, therefore, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to open up Adobe Bridge. All right. Who's heard of Adobe Bridge? Not a lot of people who don't use Adobe Bridge. Okay, but Adobe Bridge is really good at it can do a lot of stuff. I can't do much stuff with it, but I know it can do a lot of stuff. But the one thing I use it for that it does really well, I'm going to hit Command A. Here's all those meaningless file names. Okay, we don't know that these are anything related to Bangladesh or frogs or Save the Frogs Day. Command A, and then I'm going to come up here to Tools, Batch, Rename. We're going to rename all these files really quickly. Imagine if you had 100 file names, then it would be even more important because everyone out there knows how annoying it is to manually change the file name on 20 different files. It's a waste of time. All right, now, if you're an Apple user, there's a program called Automator that comes with your Apple Mac computer and it's free on that computer and it'll do it. I'm sure PCs have their version of something, but it's a little bit more complex. This thing works really quickly. Now, Adobe Bridge is not free, but if you have it, um, use it. So here's what we're going to do. I've got some presets set to put in a new name and then a sequence number. So the new name is going to be Bangladesh Teesta University Save the Frogs Day 2025 Kalyan Goswami and um, that's all because I don't even know what's in these things. But for now, the sequence number is going to start. There's going to be a dash, and then it's going to start at 001, 3 digits. I hit rename, and boom, it's all done. All these things are now renamed. And now look, Google knows what it is. So if someone's searching for Bangladesh, say the Frogs Day at Teesta University, they've got that much higher a chance. And we live in a world where there's billions or at least a billion websites that we're competing with, literally a billion websites. So why not use every advantage we can to get people showing up on our site. Now, also when we're talking about this, like, hey, in your file number 4, that needs to change or something like that, as opposed to like, that WhatsApp file. Okay, good. So now we're done with that. Let me unshare my screen and welcome Madhukar. We're in the midst of we're about to do some Save the Frogs graphic design review. If you have a question, I've only got about 9 minutes left. Hey, we've been on for over an hour. So if you have a question, I suggest chat it in right now because we're short on time. Let's see what is in the chat. Hey, there's some. All right, now let's go ahead. Let me open up some of these photos and let's take a look at them. All right, share my screen. And here we go. Did I hit record? I didn't hit record. Oh, I do have a record. Sorry. All right. I didn't hit record fear. No, I did. All right. Tell me, put a thumb up if you can see this image right here. All right. So the first thing I notice about it is it's good graphic design. Like it's a lot better than just someone who just doesn't have any clue what they're doing or doesn't have the proper graphic design software. Let's start out. I'm curious, Kalyan, did you make these or someone else did? And if so, do you know what program was used to create it?
Okay, this was made by Canva.
Okay, you did it in
So
Canva.
I used Canva.
All right, good.
Yes.
Good. Canva, super easy to use to get something that looks 80%, even higher, like 80, 90% professional. And then the rest comes down to your graphic design knowledge as far as, we'll say, marketing knowledge more than just like visually, it's visually pleasing. Boom. But now let's improve it. Okay. It's got Teesta University written on it. It doesn't have Save the Frogs written on it. If Save the Frogs is funding, one, I always need to know what something's going to be used for. Is this for print or for digital or both?
Uh, it was primarily made for the demo. So
What's a
I
demo?
have previously said that I have no idea how to do these things properly. So I have tried my best to provide things according to
What is the
my
use of this? Will
standard
this
that
be
can I provide.
printed? Will this be printed? Yes or no?
Uh, this will be printed as leaflet. Yes,
Okay, good. That's what I need to know. This is going to be a leaflet. Save the Frog's going to be paying for it through that grant. I want Save the Frog's logo on it. Okay, you now have the logo because you have the brand guide from your grant decision. So, number one rule
yes.
for me, Save the Frogs, or for anyone who like I'm going to fund their stuff in general. You're working for an organization or promoting something, you want your company's logo on it. Okay, so it
Uh,
doesn't have to be big, bigger the better sometimes I think, but it doesn't have to be. But like, I usually put logos in a corner if they can go there. Really, at the very bottom where you've got Teesta University, that's where I want a URL rule. I want a URL on just about every single graphic that ever gets created because I've spent literally thousands of hours building the Save the Frogs website, and that's the center of the Save the Frogs universe. Everything goes through there. I want people going there, and if you don't give them the URL, they're not going to go there. Now, next thing, it's print. In this day and age, people have their cameras, people are lazy, they like QR codes. Yeah, I just happened to write an article on
QR codes.
how to create beautiful QR codes, and I'm going to put that in the chat. If I can find the chat totally disappeared. Maybe because I'm sharing my screen. That's annoying. Let me stop the share. Sorry, stop the share. Let's see. So this is type it in QR codes. QR code 02webmaster.com/QR dash codes. That should work right there. There it is. It does work. So if you're going to create a QR code, then first off, where's it going to go? It needs a URL to go somewhere. So you and I should determine right now what's that URL going to be? Where it's going to be the URL of your event that we're going to ideally create a page for your event. And we don't know what that is just yet. So let's just make it up and let's let it be known that this is going to be the URL, we can always create a redirect. So what's the URL going to be to follow my formula that I've already used for Calcutta? It was day-Calcutta-2025. So how about day-Teesta, or it could be Rangpur. Which do you suggest it would be? Which would you prefer?
It will be Rangpur.
Okay,
It
so
will be more better.
day-Rangpur. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. So you keep track of this so that you remind me when that page goes up, hey, Carrie, it needs to be this URL. I put that in the chat right there. Now you can use that for your URL that goes into the QR code. So you don't need a QR code, but in this day and age, and you only want it to be big enough that if someone's taking a photo from whatever distance you think they're going to be, that it will work. All right, now let's go back.
Uh,
Let's
okay.
actually, there is a chance. My next meeting is with the original Save the Frogs graphic designer who has been working with me since 2009 and designed our logo and tons of other things. And I may just invite her to come on here, but we'll see what happens there. Otherwise, I may still have to go shortly. So let's go back here. Okay, so let's see. Logo, URL at the bottom. Um,
QR
and
code.
if the URL is too long, even at a minimum, like savethefrogs.com is better than nothing. Even better for Save the Frogs Day, savethefrogs.com/day. There's also savethefrogs.com/Bangladesh. And I sent you, I believe, the Save the Frogs Bangladesh logo. You don't even really need to use the Save the Frogs
Yes.
logo. You could have the Save the Frogs logo and the Save the Frogs Bangladesh logo. Totally cool with me. But if there's not enough space for both, Save the Frogs Bangladesh logo. If you only have space for one URL, it could also be savethefrogs.com/Bangladesh. So lots of relevant choices. If there's tons of space, you could put them all, but I'll let you decide what you want to do. But at a minimum, there should always be one logo and one URL on a graphic, especially if it's getting printed out. Now, the next thing, it's blue. Is Teesta University blue? Do they have all blue logos and stuff?
It's blue and green.
Like this? Is that where you got the idea for the colors, or this is unrelated to that?
Uh, it was the primary idea.
Okay, good.
So
That's good. That's a good graphic design intuition. Because to me, when I saw it, it was consistent across. You got like 10 of these images. They were consistent. That was good. But I was like, I don't know if that's just random or what, because it's not, say, the Frogs colors. For, say, the Frogs, I'd put like, it would all be black and white with orange and green as the main colors throughout. But that's cool. It can be whatever you think it should be. It already looks good. I suggest just leave it as is. Though I will tell you, Canva, at least in the Pro, has like brands, and then you could just, or I don't know, but you can just change one color and probably the whole thing changes. But leave it as is because it looks good, and blue and green is it's like aquatic looking, so it's fine. So that's all I really, those are like my top. Oh yeah, if it's for Save the Frogs Day, one of these is actually going to be about Save the Frogs Day. So let's get on to that. I won't go into the science of this. It all looks good. I'll assume the science is correct. You've got a team of people, hopefully, send it to someone else, have them review it, and make sure that it all, one, it's good English if it's written in English, two, that it's all correct scientifically. Aside from that, it's good. So let's
Kerry,
look. Yes.
uh, can we give the what you say notes in Bangla like this?
I would make two versions. I mean, there's the one you print
Okay,
out,
both
but
Bangla and English.
all of this stuff is cool enough that it's all going to go up on the site. So for the print one, you have to decide what's the important language that it should be in. Could be in both if that's important to you, but if you think everyone there reads Bangla, not everyone reads English, let's put it in Bangla, that's fine. But for it's so easy for just getting a JPEG that can go up on the website to have a folder called Bangla, and you put all the Bangla ones in there, have a folder called English, you just duplicate the files in Canva and put the English in. Do it at the end. Make the translation the final thing. When you know this thing's perfect, then you duplicate it so that you don't have to go changing
Redo
everything
it.
twice. Yeah, so wait for it's perfect and then put it in the second language. It's not mandatory, but why not put it up on the site because people hopefully will go check out your webpage, and some of them will not read Bangla for certain. This thing graphically is super cool. What does it say in English?
Uh, Acha, can I say it in Hindi?
You can, but only one per, well, actually, maybe two people will. Yeah, just whatever. Say it in Hindi, and maybe Vrushali can translate it.
अ, अगर हम हिंदी में बोले तो एक मतलब बैंगची से कैसे फ्रॉग में तब्दील होता है, इस प्रोसेस को समझाया गया है।
अच्छा, तो मतलब जो टैडपोल है वो फ्रॉग कैसे बनता है, यूं?
यस यस, मेटामॉर्फोसिस।
Yeah, so metamorphosis of the frog from tadpole stage, Kerry.
फ्रॉग,
Okay,
यस।
good. All right. Um, Sorry, let me just deal with this upcoming meeting and invite this incredible graphic designer here. I'm doing graphic design of this URL. All right, you can join, or I'll be ready in 10 minutes. All right, good. All right. Yeah, so I'm not going to get into the all the aesthetics looks good, and I'll assume that the science is correct. All and everything so far is just the same. A logo, a URL, at a minimum one logo in one URL. If you've got space, you could have multiple logos, multiple URLs. Don't clutter
लोग
stuff. Just, something is, I try not to just like, here's a graphic, because then it goes out there in the world and it doesn't benefit you. Maybe it benefits the frogs or the people reading it, but why not get the extra benefit that they know who created the thing and how to find out more info? All right, so this again, it looks cool to me. If you're printing all these, I can't remember what your project is or how big these things are, but then the question becomes, do you need to print
So,
10, 10
Carrie,
different
this will
things?
be a small books for kids.
Oh, a book.
These are
Oh,
made for
okay,
the
good.
kids.
A booklet. I get it. So this is a booklet. Cool. Maybe it needs page numbers. I don't know, but yes, good. For a PDF, it would be cool. Actually, what would be cool? I mean, yeah, there could be a PDF in Bangla and a PDF in English. Otherwise, that
In
sometimes
English.
sometimes it's cool to have both languages there, but only if you actually think that some of the people can learn by looking at both if it's two very close languages, which English and Bangla are not. So, yeah, I would just keep it as two separate things. Yeah, all this looks good. What's the question right here?
The sound a frog makes. What kind of sound?
Okay.
So this is an interactive book for kids, so they can
Okay.
fill
Good. So
the
this
blank.
then is this thing is different. This is not part of the book, is it?
No, no, no. This will be a big banner
I
for
get
the
it.
event,
For the okay,
for
good.
the
So then the
seminar.
question is, that's fine. But usually a banner for event would have the event name. So then the question is, should you have two banners? I can't remember what your budget was or anything like that. Like there could be a banner like welcome to the or that's behind the speaker that it says because people are taking photo of the speaker. It would be good if it says Save the Frogs Day, Save the Frogs Bangladesh, 28 April 2025, all that stuff related to that because this doesn't promote the event at all. Imagine someone's giving a presentation and everyone's clicking. They're going to see that it's a frog event and maybe they'll see the logos, but they won't know that it's, say, the Frogs Day. So this is already like full. I don't know if you should ideally would have if you think you want a second banner and then you could put one banner here that's the education this and then one banner there that's the promotion 17th annual Save the Frogs Day or if you think you're going to be holding events in the future and just want one banner that's permanent it could just say Save the Frogs Day April 28th every year if if you need money for that you don't already have if you think that would be best, then I could potentially send you a little bit of extra money to get both of those printed. That then is
Uh,
yeah.
so Carrie, I want to try to do things that I already have, that Grant you have already provided. So
That's
if I
fine.
need any help, I will
Okay.
obviously contact you.
Then my suggestion, this thing looks good, but it's kind of weird to me to like print something out that for a Save the Frogs Day event.
Uh,
You could use it in the future, I
uh,
guess. That's
uh,
one thing. That's why I'm saying maybe it's better to have, you've got this
the
for education.
banner design is not finalized yet.
That's fine.
So we are sorting out things.
Okay, then my
So
suggestion
that's
is
why
if you're not going to create another
uh,
banner, you may wish to consider that this thing says the 17th annual Save the Frogs Day or Save the Frogs Day and the date or something like that. So what I do is make
I
the
have understand
changes
that.
and send it to me. But if it doesn't cost that much to print out another banner and you want another banner, and you make it all about the fact that it's Save the Frogs Day at Teesta University, then we can consider that. With that, I need to go in a moment. Now, Alyson showed up, but it looks like, maybe she is there. Hi, Alyson. How are you? I can't hear you.
Oh, there we go.
Hi,
Hi.
welcome everybody.
Thank
This
you.
is the amazing Save the Frogs, the original Save the Frogs graphic designer going back to 2008, really, who created our logo and tons of Save the Frog shirts and posters and graphics and all kinds of stuff. And she's really awesome too. And I have learned a lot about graphic design from her. And we worked together on tons and tons of projects. And she has
Yeah.
not been on a Save the Frogs event in way too long, so it's good. This just happened to be like, hey, I'm talking about Save the Frogs graphic design right now before our meeting. Why don't you show up? How's it going, Alyson?
I'm great.
Good.
Just looking forward to talking with you. I haven't seen you in ages.
Okay, good.
Nice to see everyone.
Yeah, I just gave a review of Kalyan, a Save the Frogs grantee in Bangladesh, his proposed little booklet for kids about frogs that they're going to use at their event in the banner. And we're at the end of this event right now. So I'm just curious, like, you've been doing graphic design for decades. Do
Mm.
you have like, or can you sum up or any like fundamentals of graphic design or any like essential graphic design knowledge in, I don't know, 30 or 60 seconds, anything, if you could just pass on a few bits of advice to people out there, not to put you on the
Well,
spot.
yeah, you put me on the spot, man. I don't know. Actually, these days it's just growing so much with AI. Um, I've been going on YouTube to just, scope out what the latest and greatest is. Um, to use these days. Like I used PowerPoint forever. I use InDesign, what else? Photoshop and
Illustrator.
Illustrator. But those programs take a long time to really to learn. Um, I think that the thing that everyone's really getting into right now is Canva.
That's what
And there are
Kalyan used.
so many tutorials. I mean, it is unbelievable how much you can learn in one day.
So just go
And they
straight to
give,
Canva
yeah,
if you need to get started.
yeah, definitely. I would do tutorials for hours, you know, and they actually have like bubbles that pop up and say, no, you might want to try this. It's
All
it's
right.
AI generated instructions. So, you know,
All right,
I
thank you.
mean,
I'll
you're
add in
welcome.
I've been using Canva for a few years. I also
Mm-hmm.
use Illustrator and a little
Yes.
bit of Photoshop, but I can get around in Illustrator. There's certain thing Canva has so many different little elements and things like, hey, give me a
Yeah.
tadpole. That makes stuff super easy. But the thing
Yeah.
I did for the first time ever, I've always used PowerPoint too, and I'm perfectly cool
Yes.
using PowerPoint going forward, but just I don't know why I decided to do it. I was just like, let me see if I can make a slideshow in Canva. And I did that a couple weeks ago. And I spent like four
Yep.
hours and made this huge, awesome presentation that's super like visually, aesthetically pleasing. I have yet to give the presentation. It's actually on the ultimate guide to winning, the ultimate guide to writing successful Save the Frogs grant proposals. So everybody who
Oh,
cares
nice.
about grants should definitely watch that. So anyway, yeah, Canva's super easy. What about something like aside from the tool itself, anything as
Mm-hmm.
far as like the I don't know, theory behind what you should
How,
put on your
meaning, yeah.
design.
I mean, it's always thirds. Like think of it in divided by thirds, your grid,
All right, which
both
I never
vertically and
think about
horizontally.
ever. So I don't know how I've
Mm-hmm.
gotten in this far. So you're saying
It's
create a vertical third and then
mm-hmm.
and think about what
Start
goes into
there.
those 9 points or what? Or nine
Not
boxes?
exactly. The the best thing to do is do I'd say when you're doing a layout, uh center, oops, hello.
Hi, hello. We're all here.
Hi.
We're all here. I was just giving you
Okay.
the spotlight, but
Um, Centering things is not the greatest thing to do. Like having everything all centered down, is not the best way to design. Um, it's just not as easy to read. And when you're putting graphic elements on a page, it's really best to use that thirds design. So you're gonna snap your graphics to the, 2/3 of the page instead of like centering it in the middle of the page. Um, it's kind of hard to explain, but that's a good place to start.
well, that would be a good tutorial. I'm sure there's tutorials on this
Yeah.
concept. So it's called graphic design
Mm-hmm.
thirds, or what would someone search for to find a good tutorial?
Um, yeah, I mean, I would just check that out in on YouTube. I'm sure there's something about it. And that's like the beginning in InDesign,
Okay.
the beginning tutorials.
Yeah.
They'll set up a grid already set up with thirds,
Okay.
and then
Good.
you can go from there with your guides. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people think that centering is the right thing to do, and it's really kind of not
Yeah.
to grab your attention.
Okay. All
So,
right. Good. All right. Thank you. Let's see.
you're
Everyone out there,
welcome.
we've been on for a while. I plan to like we do have our regularly scheduled next Save the Frogs Day planning session, which will be kind of a afterwards after Save the Frogs Day for in May, in which we'll hear about your event and what went well, what didn't, what to improve, get some stuff up online about your event, hopefully. But I do plan to have at least a couple more of these before Save the Frogs Day because I know there's tons of stuff to do before Say the Frogs Day. So come on back. I'm also going to be announcing some other events. So with that, before we go, I just want to ask Madhukar, hello, where are you based? Madhukar, if you're able to tell us where you are.
Oh,
Hi.
Hello.
Namaste.
Hi.
hi.
Namaste. Hello.
Namaste. Where are you located?
I can't hear you correctly. Hello.
Okay. Hi. I'm assuming it's not my mic. That's fine. Um, it looks like a chat is going through.
Maybe I should be.
Where are you? Yeah, there it is in the chat. All right. Meanwhile,
Kerry,
okay. Well, hey, we tried. We'll try it again next time. Yes, Kalyan, a final. We're gonna get out of here in about 30
if
seconds.
you don't mind, can you give me a review of some submission of some poster or banners that you have received
Banners.
for my idea, or posters, some illustration that someone have already submitted?
Well, it kind of comes down to I always need to know what is the goal of the graphic design. Is this digital? Is it print? Will it be on a wall? Will it be on a billboard? What do you want to see exactly? Something that would be a banner at an event?
A banner, yes.
At an event to promote an event? Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
let's see. I don't have any like top head. Like here's a really good event banner. Ideally, we'd have tons of pages up from past site. Well, no, let's look at one. I'll tell you what, we had one. Let's do this, and then we will close up shop. Let's go to my all-time favorite amphibious website, savethefrogs.com. Let me get over there and open up savethefrogs.com/Hyderabad. Now, I put one event's photos up here. I've got another event that we did. I need to add those photos. And because we created a banner for the event, and I helped Sarbani, president of Save the Frogs India, do that. And so we have a couple things like right up here. It's visually pleasing. It looks good to me. This thing, it went through a couple rounds and it's just digital. Okay. It's just promote it on social media, put it on the website. That's the goal of this. Okay. Now, I'll also say Alyson is an incredible graphic designer, and I've worked with tons of graphic designers over the years, and some of them really, really, really good. There has never, ever been anything anyone has ever sent me once that I did not have some feedback on a way to improve it. It's just the way it is. You come up with a draft, especially if there's two people, there's usually the designer with the technical skills and then the person who needs the design who knows what it needs to do and what it should look like. Sometimes, anyway, it's just the way it is that things go through iterations. They should, and they're going to get better each time. So this one I think looks really good, but let's go down to the actual event. So here's, well, that's just the slideshow of it, but that's what, here it is right here. We can see it. Let me find, yeah, here we go, right here. Let's open that up. So I think that there were two of these printed that were exact same for different locations. It was at the Hyderabad Zoo. All right. So I had to know, what's when Sarbani first sent it to me. She's like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" I'm like, I don't know. What's it for? And only once I know that can I give some input into it. Look, it's got a Save the Frogs logo. It's got a Save the Frogs India logo. It's got a QR code. It's got a URL. It's got the zoo's logo because you also think about who are the stakeholders. Like maybe, maybe visually it won't be that good and I don't care about the zoo or who knows what, but you have to think about like, will the zoo be happy? And if they're happy, I'm going to be happy. So think about who's involved with the thing. And then we've got this right here. Now, it probably originally it had like too much stuff and too many different colors, and you couldn't read the text. And now it's kind of like, it's blue. It's nice, just clean around there, and your eyes focus right into the middle. Now it's right down the center. There's no, or I don't think there's too much law of thirds going on here, but it's easy to read. This, it kind of looks like there's a streak going through an awareness program on amphibians because it's the wood, but you can read it. Save the Frog. It looks fun. And this was an event for kids, and it's got kind of a fun kids font. Usually I just go ahead and always use, I like branding to reuse the same. I'm going to use the same colors and the same fonts over and over and over so that people can recognize it. This isn't that, but it still works out and says who it's with, where it's at, the date that it's happening. So this has the essential elements. Like, remember when we started out the discussion, it was, are the logos there? Is the URL there? And then in this day and age, not too important, but is there a QR code? And hey, it's a nice looking QR code. It's not like an ugly QR code. So there's a couple things I would have done differently, but this was, good enough. It went through a few iterations and it got the job done. And it looks like there's even like, I don't know if this is something behind there that we can see through. It looks like there's text here. I don't know if that's super light and almost transparent that the designer put there. We may just be seen through this thing and maybe there's something back behind it. Anyway, that's the one that we came up with and I was pretty happy with it. There's also, I don't know if it's up there yet. I don't think it is, but on our Kolkata webpage, if you go to, we're going to have graphics. It's certainly up on social media already. Day Kolkata 25. this page where you can sign up for Kolkata event it will soon yet, does not yet have it, but it will. And how do you find that? Anyway, all the events, as I add the event info to the site, they're going to be up here on the savethefrogs.com/day-2025. So I'll say within a day or two, if you look for that Kolkata event, then you'll see another flyer design up there. All right, I think that was a ton of good graphic design knowledge. So let's actually end that right here. Kalyan will be in touch by email. And everyone out there, happy Save the Frogs Day if I don't see you by then. And thanks for helping save the frogs. Alyson, why don't you stick around and we can have our meeting? Everyone else out there, goodbye. Thanks for helping save the frogs.